Once upon a time, in a small, secluded town, there lived a family of four. The Johnsons were an ordinary family, living in a quaint house at the end of a quiet street. Little did they know that their peaceful existence was about to be shattered by a horrifying presence lurking within their own home. It was a dark and stormy night when the Johnsons returned from a family outing. The rain poured heavily, creating an eerie atmosphere that seemed to seep into their bones. As they stepped inside their cozy abode, a chilling sensation washed over them, but they dismissed it as a mere figment of their imagination. Unbeknownst to them, a deranged killer had managed to infiltrate their home. He had been watching them for weeks, studying their routines, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. With a twisted smile on his face, he reveled in the anticipation of the terror he was about to unleash. As the night wore on, strange occurrences began to unfold. The lights flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The family's pet dog, usually friendly and playful, growled and barked at unseen entities. The air grew heavy with an inexplicable sense of dread, suffocating the Johnsons' every breath. Mrs. Johnson, a loving mother and wife, was the first to sense that something was amiss. She couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, her every move scrutinized by an unseen presence. Her heart raced, and her hands trembled as she tried to convince herself that it was all in her head. Meanwhile, Mr. Johnson, a hardworking man, noticed strange footprints leading from the front door to the basement. His curiosity piqued. He cautiously descended the creaky stairs, his heart pounding in his chest. The basement was dark and foreboding, but he pressed on, determined to uncover the source of the disturbance. Upstairs, their two children, Emily and Tommy, were blissfully unaware of the impending danger. They played in their rooms, their laughter echoing through the house. But as the night grew darker, their innocent giggles turned into fearful whispers. They huddled together, seeking solace in each other's trembling arms. As the clock struck midnight, the killer revealed himself. He emerged from the shadows, his eyes gleaming with sadistic pleasure. He relished in the terror that washed over the Johnsons' faces, their screams echoing through the house. The family's worst nightmare had become a horrifying reality. In a desperate bid for survival, the Johnsons fought back. They armed themselves with whatever they could find, their adrenaline fueling their determination. The once peaceful home became a battleground, as the family fought tooth and nail against their merciless attacker. But the killer was cunning and relentless. He toyed with them, taunting them with his sadistic laughter. He seemed to be everywhere at once, his presence haunting every corner of the house. The Johnsons' hope began to wane as they realized the magnitude of the evil they were up against. Just as all seemed lost, a glimmer of hope emerged. Tommy, the youngest of the family, stumbled upon a hidden passage in the attic. With a newfound determination, he led his family through the labyrinthine corridors, away from the clutches of the killer. Finally, they reached the safety of the outside world, gasping for breath and covered in sweat. The nightmare was over, but the scars would forever remain. The Johnsons vowed to never forget the horrors they had endured within the walls of their own home. And so, the house stood as a chilling reminder of the evil that had once resided within. It remained vacant, a haunting relic of the past, forever etched in the memories of those who had survived. The killer may have been defeated, but the horror he had unleashed would never be forgotten.